What is up, guys? I'm back here with another video, and today I am showing the survey form that I just finished working on. Well, I was actually still working on it, but essentially I realized that pretty much the best way to get a hold of a lot of these or this data is to conduct a survey. So this way we can get probably more of the people that were in the sale, went through the sales process and stuff, than more than just like 60. So this way we can actually collect enough data points, and the user only has to enter in 8 pieces of information, and that will pretty much give us access to all the data that we need. Because the first thing they have to enter is their domain name, like what's their business, like their website called, on their domain. So let's say we've got like this made up business that I just made up called Rambo.net. So like, say you're like Rambo.net, you submit it. It's a duplicate entry. I've already entered that. But you get the, okay, let's just say like google.com or some shit. There, so now google.com. So now, like, basically given that we can find most of what we need, then you enter your landing page URL. Let's just pretend it's this. So yeah, you enter the URL to your latest ad, the landing page of your latest ad campaign. And those two can provide a lot of data. And then the rest of these data points are things that are very hard to find. Basically pretty much impossible to find on any data through any APIs or anything. So we really do need like that from the user. I found a way to kind of like approximate ad spend, but and hard costs based on like what domain the business is and what kind of business model they have. But I think those estimates are really sloppy. And if I can get a hold of like what the actual business owner says that they have, what's reported, like ad spend and hard costs, which is basically all the expenses of running the business. Like, it's one, I can make approximations and like read a bunch of blogs to like figure out how to estimate that, but it's much better if I could just get it from them. So and then we're going to have to enter the email. So basically the problem here though, so it's great. So it's like, we've got this, ask the question, you got the input, and the user can basically specify, these inputs, and all the input gets stored to a database. But the problem is it's not very user friendly, because if we typed in like, let's say facebook.com, let's just say facebook.org, let's pretend they're a nonprofit. Okay, facebook.org, right? So it kind of looks like a glitch. I know that it worked because I made it, right? I know that it went through. But if I was a random ass person taking this survey, I get frustrated, and I probably enter the same shit over and over again. And then if I entered facebook.org again, it'll probably send me that like duplicate entry problem, and then it'll be like, I'll get pissed. So we don't want to piss anybody off. And we also, if they get pissed, also our data won't work either. So our data won't get collected right, and it's just not going to be pretty. So basically I'm trying to get it to the point where it'll basically have some way of letting the user know that their input has been accepted, so that they don't get like frustrated. So fortunately I have some old code that I can sort of refactor. So a long time ago, a couple months ago, I made this AI text classifier thing. I have a video about it, or in my earlier videos. But essentially what happened is there was a web app looked much like this. There was only one input form, and that's you enter the URL, to an article, and it'll scrape the article, Wikipedia article. It'll scrape the Wikipedia article, and it'll predict the probability that it's written by an AI. That was my old app. But what it would do is when you'd enter the URL, and then it would enter the prediction right beneath it. So what I'm trying to do instead, I'm trying to basically just take in what the user just put in and just spit their input out right beneath the submit button right here, so that that way they type in their domain name, they can see that it got put in there. They won't need to like put it in there multiple times, and the whole process will go much more smoothly. So that being said, let me go into this app.py, and I'm just kind of walking you through some of my work here. So I think as far as the Python goes, it's the same. Let's see. There you go. So there is the text. There is I don't know why it's called prediction text, but it would be a keyword argument to render template. Wait. You know what it probably is? I probably need to go in the index, in the HTML files, index.html. Form action. So there's this, so break line. So right beneath the form, basically you create this thing right beneath the form, prediction text. So I'm going to copy and paste, and I can put this underneath every single field in the index. So we've got some HTML code. Where was it? It would go beneath the form. So let's find our forms right here. And I'll edit this as need be, and then we'll do the break lines after that. So form, results, break line. Now, this is a little more of a hands-on video, just throwing that out there. So let me know if in general, if you like this type of content where I'm just kind of like spitting things out. Now, in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of lower value content. However, it shows my thought process a bit more, which I think is important to showcase your thought process. Which I guess this is kind of the point of why people would write a blog. I kind of wrote like way too many blogs earlier and got kind of sick of them. Okay, so now we can call, I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling these prediction text, but I think it'd be more practical to just call them output text, because I mean, it doesn't really matter because the end user won't see it, only I see it. But yeah, I just think it's confusing, because see, if it was just me, sure, it's just me in this project, right? Like no big deal. But what if I was working with other people, right? It would not, like if I was working with other people, it'd probably be pretty annoying if I was just like having, this shit named incorrect with like irrelevant names. That's just not good practice. So, I'm taking the extra effort now to just instill best practices, even on tiny little things like that, because how you do one thing is pretty much how you do everything. I'm not like I'm actually kind of serious about that. I used to think that was kind of when people would say shit like that, I used to kind of brush it off, but I really think that's true. Okay. One, two. Okay, the output, the last one doesn't need it because the last one, when you enter in the email, they just get to the thank you page. So yeah, so they'll get to see the thank you page. They don't need to have that. So now, so yeah, basically the output. So now that is the output text. And now we're going to, I'm going to spit this output. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm doing the right thing here. Back to the app.py. So this, and also this is, if you are new to programming, kind of could be a little motivation for like what happens down the road when you write more code. Because when you write more code, you get kind of have like a framework for doing a lot of stuff. Well, in the sense that you can just go back and look at what you're doing. So basically, we're going to have this prediction text thingy into the render temp, except instead of prediction text, it's output. So output text, and we're going to call this, I don't know. We'll just output the name. We'll just output actually, that I don't want to confuse them. I'll just have this. This is our output text. So this will just be copied and pasted, practically the same for each of these. Except this thing will be different. So landing page. Yeah. And domain. Where else? And what's this? Ad spend. This is important because we know how much, because basically the company this is intended, the intended stakeholder company for this project tends to only work with companies that are at least spending 20,000 a month on ads. So that's why it's really important that we know what the ad spend is. Hard costs could be beneficial because it says a lot about what the business is like. And then also, if they've got a ton of hard costs, they may be less likely to close because money may be more tight. However, that this would, if a company is doing more money, they're automatically going to have higher hard costs. So they may make some feature where it's like percentage hard costs or something, which, by the way, hard costs, I'm not factoring in salaries, and I'm not factoring in salaries or ads. So it's not all the hard costs, it's all the hard costs excluding that. Like, actually, I don't think it'd be rent. Well, I don't know. Still debating if rent should count or not, but I'm telling them right now, rent does not count. But a lot of these companies are fully remote anyway, so rent's not really like even an expense for a lot of them. So a lot of them, it's like, software, like people doing certain, services for them. Stuff in the cloud, I don't know. Okay, that's been hard cost. Customer, yeah, so customer could be a little confusing, but all it means is like, are they a customer or not? It's binary. Model, yeah. And model is not a machine learning model. It is just like what their business model is, like consulting, software company, whatever. And model. And then source, which is going to be how did they even find out about the company? Did they find out about them on Twitter? Did they get a cold call? Did they, other social media platforms, was word of mouth, etc. And then email. And this, I don't actually need their email. However, you never know. It could always connect to a lot of really helpful data and APIs and whatnot. Also, it gives me a base of emails to send stuff to, which could help with networking and promotion of my stuff that I create. So it's kind of mostly honestly for selfish purposes that I'm asking for email. But I could see growing an email list could always be a beneficial thing to do. So now I've done here, but the email, like I said, the email is okay. The email we don't need to, because they get the thank you page, so they'll kind of intuitively will know it went through. So I'm gonna save this. So now I've saved it, and I've saved the index2.html file. Yeah. And now I'm going to probably just minus out this. I'm gonna restart the app. Okay, let's restart this app. All right, so now I'm gonna run it again. Let's open up the server. So I'm gonna open up this app now. There we go. So now let's say that we're chadbrain.com. It's just okay. And then we got this. Well, it's sort of working. It's being a little weird though. I think they need to have like a different name. I don't know, what niche is your business? Entertainment, which we're not going to work with many entertainment companies, but okay, this is like, it's sort of working. I spend, this might, no, it worked. Okay. This might, how much do you spend? What are your hard costs? Yeah, so it's sort of working. I'll have to do a little more to fix that. I've not purchased the app, and I sell tangible products, and I found out about these people because somebody gave me a cold call. See, this is getting weird. And enter your email. We're jambajuice@kyliejenner.com. So that sounds like a totally legit email address. Okay. And where I came up with that, don't ask me, it just happened. So now thank you, we've sent your way, and that's because basically I'm going to give them some like little PDF of information, like some kind of info guide of something that I would know more about than them, like I don't know how to use Python, or I don't know, like not like personally use Python, but like how your business can benefit from some certain thing or something. Just some like free values, just so that they feel like they're getting something in return for taking a survey, because I really appreciate their input, and I think they deserve to get something some free value in exchange for that. But anyway, so I'm not going to show you like the next details of it, but the gist of it worked where, basically it would like have under the input, like kind of like what they just put in. I think I need to give them they all say output text. I think I need to give all of them different names. And that'll probably fix it. But again, I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But yeah, that's been the video. So anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.